going to have to hopefully stay there. It'll stay there. Hopefully we can get past it and turn around and look back on it. Looks like a slightly pale-phased warbird. Phased, not faced. Pale phase and dark phase. P-H-A-S-E. Or morph is another word. Color morph. M-O-R-P-H. What noise. This weather does force a lot of raptors to be perched. They're no thermals, and with feathers are wet, wings are wet, it takes a lot of energy to stay in the air. So for a lot of the raptors, they'll remain perched until things might warm up later. Secreting oils from glands, rubbing oil, very essential oils over its feathers with its gape, I think. Helps with waterproofing. A lot of birds do that, especially the aquatic birds. Or maybe not oils, but secretions that help keep feathers in good condition, as well as try and avoid the number of mites and parasites on the feathers. We're going to move along. Move along to maybe stay on Central Road, actually. Might be an idea. And the amount of prey species that an area is able to hold has a large impact on the populations of predators. And then there are some areas where I guess leopard territories, or rather there might be more leopard than lions, so leopard territories will be a lot smaller than usual, like over here. But generally speaking, and just to answer the question itself, was that lion and leopard, lion can be up to 10 times even more larger than the leopard's territory, which then means that you'll always find a number of leopard within a lion's territory. Places like the Kalahari, which is desert, semi-desert, very vast areas, lion's territory is probably 10 times bigger than the lion's territory here. So you'll find that leopard's territories will also be a lot larger in a place like that. Wildlife is more spread out, so the ratio will be different. So it's not a fixed thing. I believe a few tweets, people asking to go to the airstrip. I'm assuming that would be the Arathusa airstrip. I don't think I'm going to get there this morning because I'm headed in a different direction. I'm heading way up to the northeast. To get to the airstrip, we'd have to go down to the southwest. So it's sort of one of the opposite corners. It is the opposite corner. So we're not going to get there this morning. Maybe this afternoon. Maybe we'll make a plan to get there this afternoon. The exhibit today. Falconiforms. and they are, I think, very bright sky behind them, but this one looking dark enough for the red beak could be, very well be, three little Amir Falcon. Used to be known as the eastern red-footed kestrel, but they are falcons. I think they are falcon family, which is why their name is now the Amir Falcon. Let's find the raptor book. The raptors of Africa and its islands. Birds of Prey of Africa and its islands. This is by Alan and Meg Kemp. There you go into the purple. Harriers, sparrowhawks, goshawks, Eleanor's falcon, red-footed falcon, peregrine falcon, red-necked falcon, theta falcon. There, the Amir Falcon. That one sitting lower now. I think that one at the bottom there is the adult male because he's fairly dark, and that one at the top there you can see she's got a little bit of a mask. If you can come to my book, I'll show you what they look like. Normally in flocks, I mean these birds, oh, they've just flown. I've seen flocks of hundreds and hundreds of them. So these are all the different color forms. Here on the far left we have the adult male, and then the adult female, and then the juvenile. These are drawings, but there is a photograph here of an adult female. I could see a little bit of the mask on the one at the top of the tree, and the one lower down was definitely the male, much darker with the very red beak, red feet. Here on the left, a little bit to the left, photograph of the male Amir Falcon, who we've just seen. Now sadly, they are being hunted to extinction. You know, whenever you get animals, so sadly this is the thing with humans. We've seen it with so many species in the past where they've almost been wiped out because humans just shoot them indiscriminately, thinking that there's so many of them that they'll never run out. But we've seen the likes of a number of species that have been shot to either extinction or virtual extinction. The Amir Falcons have to come in from the Middle East. They have to fly through a corridor and a gauntlet of Middle East countries who feel nothing about blasting them out of the sky. And so the flocks of thousands from when I was a child turned into flocks of hundreds a few years ago, and now flocks of dozens only. Very, very sad for a very beautiful bird that has to fly the length of Africa to its summer grounds here in South Africa. Parts of Middle East and Eastern Europe. Kathy, hello Kathy. Kathy in El Paso. El Paso's in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Are there veterinarians? Are there vets in the park that help injured big cats? Yes, there are vets, Kathy. There are a couple of important vets in the park, mostly dealing with translocations of animals and the like. Excuse me, just mostly only a couple of vets for the millions and millions of acres that there is that the park covers, and 99% of the time animals that are injured or have something wrong are left, well, most of the time we don't even know because we only see a tiny fraction of the animals, and the road network that covers the park, the people driving on them, covers barely 6% of the park. So there are vast areas of wildlife where humans don't even get to see the animals, so we wouldn't even know if animals are injured. It's not like you can monitor every single animal. There are thousands and thousands of animals. I can't, there's so much noise in my ear, I can't hear a thing. Sorry, what's that?
I think there's holly in that.
Holly? Oh, mistletoe. Yeah, holly's also at Christmas. Yeah. Oh yes, you can see the dark. There's quite a lot of mistletoe in. There's even one in flower here. Jason's just pointing out some mistletoe in these marulas. Let's try and zoom in on that, and see if we can see some of the flowers. Almost, they're like long tubular flowers. I've forgotten where I was before I stopped for the mistletoe. Remember what I was saying? Oh yes, thanks Alex, yes, about veterinarians. There are times when vets do interfere, there are times when the vets do help animals, and most of the time it would have to be an injury like a snare where the animal is darted and treated and the snare removed. Usually it's around the foot or the neck, and often the injury is assessed to see whether the animal will recover, and very often they do. Even snares that have sadly caused a lot of damage, cut deep into the skin, animals are treated. Sometimes stitches or wounds are stitched up. Invariably they're given some antibiotics and maybe anti-inflammatories, but animals are very resilient and they do heal. And actually, just stop there. If you look at the middle of your picture, you can see that the top of those marula trees is a little bit overexposed, but it's because it's no, I can't really see it so well. When it's overexposed a bit, you can see the darker patches in that marula tree in the background, and those darker patches are mistletoe. And when you go when you close the iris a little bit, you get getting the green back of the marula. It's not as easy to notice them, but you still, there's two very dark patches deep in those marula trees. One of these days, cheetah will come across this way, or we'll have them walking on this road. Okay, so let's do some book work quickly. This is a book by Chris and Tilda Stewart called Tracks and Signs, and square it off. Right, here we have the two of the large cats, lion on the left, leopard on the right, but very importantly what I'm referring to are these three lobes at the back of a cat track. You can see with the lion as well. With the leopard you can draw a straight line through that all three will touch. With the lion, the inner lobe is indented more than the leopard. But here, just a slight comparison between the two. When you can draw a circle around a leopard's track, you can draw an egg shape around a lion's track. But very importantly, no claws at the tip of the toes and the three lobes at the back. Now if we go to the hyena, very distinct claw marks. I need to get the glare off of the book. The dog on the left, a large domestic dog, that's actually a Labrador, the size of your average Labrador, and then the cheetah on the right. So very distinctly, the claws showing quite clearly in these, but most importantly, for the cat, the three lobes at the back, and for the dog, there's only sort of two at the back. So that's front foot and hind foot of cheetah. Right front, right hind, right front, right hind of the wild dog. Somewhat faded, this is the Solanum. You can see it's aubergine potato family, belonging to the deadly nightshade, or poison apple. And yes, that is poisonous.